Dots. I'm Dr. Latifat. I'm the host of the MoneyfitMD podcast. This is where we help badass women physicians just like you learn simple and effective tools to build wealth from the inside out. That way, we can create wealth and bigger impact without all the burnout. Enjoy the episode.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode on the MoneyfitMD podcast or show. Depending on what you're listening to me, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I have an amazing episode for you guys today. And so, disclaimer, strap your seatbelt, hold your sphincter tone, because it's about to get real. Anyways, for those that are meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Latifat. I'm a physician and I'm also the creator of the MoneyfitMD platform, which is where I teach women physicians how to have money, how to curate their rich life, and how to live a life of freedom from the inside and out. I'm so glad that you listen to this podcast right now, listen to my audio right now, because the things that I talk about on this platform are things that I truly believe are the most important, most critical information that's going to help you live the life that you want. Unfortunately, most of the stuff that I talk about is not part of any textbooks that we taught as physicians, is not part of any curriculum that we have as physicians. And in fact, if someone said, Latifat medical school has started including financial education as part of their curriculum, is that a good thing? I will say yes, but I don't trust them, unfortunately, because I truly have learned that the medical establishment as it is does not want physicians to be free, does not want you to have autonomy, does not want you to live a life of freedom, wants you to be enslaved, wants you to live your life with fear so that you will always be afraid of what would happen if you decided to live your best life and practice medicine on your terms and start your own practice and grow your own practice and take a sabbatical and all that stuff. Because fear is a way that people can make you do the things that they want, whereas what you want is freedom. And so, unfortunately, we're not taught to be free. So that's why I scream at y'all on my podcast, because I know that you want freedom. I know that you want to live a life of no regret. I know that you want to build a legacy for your kids. So the episode that I'm going to talk about right now is going to be so important for you as you live your life and curate your life of freedom. But before I go into today's episode, I want to make sure that you are aware of the upcoming training, the 5-day money challenge that is coming up starting February 12th. So if you have not registered for this yet and you're a woman physician, you're MD, a DO, MBBS, GDS, DMD, I want you to pause right now and go to moneyfitmd.com/F as in Frank, L as in life, P as in Paul. And what I want you to do is go there and go register right now. This is a challenge that is going to change the game for you. If you've wanted to grow your finances, the prerequisite to growing your money is knowing your money. If you don't know your money, you cannot grow your money. It's just like trying to be a physician without knowing how to practice medicine. It is impossible. So what I'm going to be doing over this 5 days is we're going to be spending time together virtually, a money challenge where I'm going to be teaching you simple, concise, mind-shifting stuff. And we're going to couple that with activities, daily activities that you are going to be doing. And at the end of those 5 days, you will be in a place where you now know your money more, you potentially have more money, but you have the tools and the recipe that you are going to need in order to be able to take the next step in your journey to freedom. So go sign up for that. The thing that I'm talking about, and again, the link is moneyfitmd.com/FLP. You will find the link in the show note here. What I want to share with you guys today is something that I believe is going to be so helpful for you. And if you hear what I'm talking about and you take an action, even one simple action, it compounds over time. One of the things that I've noticed is that as physicians, we're living a life of fear. We're living a life of not being free. And we're living a life that I call living close to the edge. I was talking with someone recently who said that, literally today, actually, not even recently, today, who said they used to have money. And then something happened a couple years ago. And they went from having money, meaning like having 7 figures, to being broke. Like brokety broke, where they actually were living on borrowed money for a couple of years. And of course, as someone that loves to learn and especially learn from other people's mistakes so that I can grow my wisdom, I can share with y'all, and we don't make the same mistakes, I asked him and I said, can you tell me a little bit about what happened that made you go from seven figures to nothing? And one of the things that he said was that Latifat, I was living too close to the edge. I was living so close to the edge that there was no room for error, no room for margin of error. And because of that, and a few other things that happened to make the perfect storm was literally how I went from making seven figures a year to being broke. And so I want to share with you guys today some points, and I believe I have 6 points or 6 ways you will know if you're living close to the edge. And part of the reason why I'm sharing this is not so that you can be discouraged or anything like that. It's so that we can go from being in a place of living close to the edge to actually changing, correcting that so that you can be prepped before the perfect storm happens. I mean, none of us knew that the pandemic was going to happen. Many of us knew that a recession was going to happen, even though people were not talking about the recession. But I've been talking about the recession happening for a while now. And part of the reason why I was doing that was so that we can be prepped. I was so loud about it that I literally threw an event on how to be prepped before a recession. I did that in 2022, where I brought together a room of women physicians that I know that I respect when it comes to the things that they're doing in their personal life or in their business. And I had like, I think about 15 physicians where I shared and they shared the things that they were doing to prep for the recession. So I kind of learned by looking at the weather. I learned by looking at the season, by understanding that not every season is going to be winter. Not every season is going to be spring, fall, or summer. There are different seasons in life. So how do you prep so that whatever is happening, whatever season will inevitably come, I will be prepped, you will be prepped. And everything that I talk about here are things that I would tell my sister because I love my sisters, right? And so I pretend that y'all are my sisters or my people. And so I want you to have the information, to have the knowledge so that you can change course if you need to. And if you're doing well, then the question becomes, how do we even optimize? How do we make sure you stay even farther away from the edge? How do we make sure that you live in a life of purpose, a life of richness, a life of freedom, where you practice in medicine on your own terms? Are you with me? Snap your fingers if you are. You're like, well, she's fighting, but you can't say, I can imagine you. So yes, you're driving, you can snap your fingers with one hand. Good. I'm glad you obeyed. No, even you that you think I'm not talking to you, snap. Exactly like that. Good. All right. So let's talk about the 6 ways before Latifat continues hallucinating. So here are the ways that you will know if you are living close to the edge or on the edge when it comes to your finances, which is one of the worst things you can do. Number one is you are dependent 100% on your clinical income, meaning that you have not learned or you're refused to acquire skills that helps you learn how you can earn outside of your clinical income. One of the things that stalls us as physicians is this, and I've had conversations and people say things like, it sucks that I have to learn how to earn outside of my clinical medicine work. And I'm not talking about having a side gig. I'm talking about how to learn how to invest. It sucks. I should be able to rely only on my clinical income. And anytime you have a bunch of shoulds, you're literally are resisting and fighting the reality. I was listening to a video recording or excuse me, a recording of Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant recently, who is someone that I highly respected. I loved his mindset, I loved his ethics, and I loved a lot of the principles that he used, which I should probably do another episode about so that y'all can know why I love Kobe Bryant. And I'm like, think it's the loss of the world that we lost him in many ways. But one of the things that it was talking about was he had an injury one time. Well, they have injuries quite a bit, but there was a time that he had an injury. And he reported thinking that, who knows, this injury may signify the last time that I ever played basketball. And he said, so many professional basketball players end their career and end up being broke. I don't want that to be me. So he started learning about money because he did not want that to be him. So if a basketball player that earns 7 figures in a month is understanding that there's a risk that he could become broke if he was relying only on that source of income and only on that single skill set, then what the heck are we thinking as physicians that makes us think that we are immune, especially in a world where reimbursement is like the weather right now, where, we're talking about insurance, we're talking about government regulation, we're talking about Medicare costs, we're talking about people getting fired for no reason. And I'm not saying go get another job, but it's never too early to learn another skill. It increases your resilience, it decreases your freaking out, it decreases your stress. And when you think about your future, you know that you have skill sets that you can lean into so that whatever happens to the money that you have in your life, whatever happens to your clinical income, you have options. And having options is one of the best gifts you can give yourself and give your family. You're not too grown to learn a new skill. You're not too grown to learn how to add an additional stream of income to your clinical practice. You're not too grown. You may just be too prideful, but you're not too grown. And that pride may be costing you a lot of money and costing you the life of freedom that you deserve, you and your family. Okay? So that's number one. Number two is you are running out of money before your next paycheck comes in. What I mean by that is maybe you're not completely running out of money before your next paycheck comes in, but you're noticing that you're doing certain things when it feels like it's the end of the month. And when I say when it feels like is, you may not even know the date, but you're starting to see your breathing change. You feel your breathing feels a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit, you're just having this subconscious discomfort or worry that's starting to set up that you don't even know why. But then when you think deeply, you're like, oh, yeah, it's because my income hasn't come in yet. Or you're starting to feel your energy dip a little bit. And then when that money drops into your bank account, you have joy. That's like finding the next chocolate when you are addicted to sugar, right? So when you're addicted to sugar. So part of this is understanding and learning that if that's happening to you, that is literally maybe God's gift to you and God's sign to you that you're living on the edge and it is time for things to change. And I know that many people are like, well, I live in a high cost of living city. I live in an expensive state. I have kids. I have student loans. And those are all factors that can definitely affect your cash flow. However, what I don't want us to do is confuse the factors that could be contributing to blaming them as the dependent factor. You can have all of that be true and still be good with your money. You can have all that be true and learn how to manage your money differently in a way that actually fuels your life so that money can do what it's meant to do, which is be a tool that works with you to impact and create the good things that you're meant to create here in the world, and not a stumble block or an excuse that's coming up every single month about why everything is the way it is. I know this may sound harsh, but it's because I love you. And it's because I'd rather tell you the truth right now because I don't think you're coming to my podcast to have me stroke your ego, even though I do think you are a badass. And yes, you are definitely subjectively a badass. But this is the part that I also want to fix so that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, things are different because you chose to course correct today. Are you with me? So that's number two. If you're feeling those symptoms at some point in the month, whether you own your own business, you own your own practice, or you work for someone, then it means that it's time for you to, this is a sign, this is a gift to you of something has to change. How do I learn how to make more money? How do I learn how to manage what I have? Because at the end of the day, it's not just what you earn that matters, it's how you manage it that matters. How do I know? I will be honest with you. The things that we're able to do with our lives, the freedom that we've been able to create, the travel experience we've been able to do, the net worth we've been able to grow, there are people that earn way more than I do clinically that are not able to do that and live in the similar zip code and maybe even have no student debt like I did and maybe even have less kids than I do. So those points should be evidence of the fact that yes, those things are factors that can have a part to play, but it is not the only matter. It is not the only thing that matters. There are things that matter. You have to learn how to make your money work for you. You have to learn that the income that you're earning is a seed that is meant to be planted into trees that now grows more fruits that can actually not just help you be well, but take care of you, your family, not just this generation, but multiple generations to come. Truth. He's telling the truth. I'm the bearer of good news. I'd rather have you hear this now than hear this when the next recession hits, because it's going to come. Or the next pandemic equivalent, hopefully not a virus that wipes us, people out, but y'all get my point. Number 3 is you are not looking at or following your money at the very minimum once a month. You are living on the edge. Because if you're not looking at your money at least once a month, how do you know what's happening on there? I always tell my people that we are the magic sauce. Like, you are the magic sauce. The growth that you will experience, the growth that you will have the growth that will happen in your life is directly proportional to where your energy goes and where your energy flows. So if you're looking at your money, if you're putting yourself in there, it will grow. As long as you learn the tools that you can learn. I literally teach those in my program. You can join my program and learn the tools. I literally just told y'all about a 5-day challenge. If you're like, I'm not ready to join your program yet, the 5-day challenge is a great low-cost way for you to test the water if that's what you want, so that you can learn and start to make changes so that you can now have the money to invest in assets that grow. And if that includes you investing in your brain through the money school, then you have no excuse to not do that. But if you're not looking at your money once a month, at the very minimum, you are living on the edge. Because I bet you that there's stuff that your money is going to right now that you may not even know. There are people who literally are praying that you don't look at your finances so that you don't ask for your money, right? They're hoping that you're not looking, because you looking means that you will close the leaks that exist in your finances. And that's literally what they're hoping that you don't do. So if you're not looking at this once a month, and this is so important that we establish in our money school the CEO Money Hour, where we literally set that up once a month. People can come in there, especially, life is busy, procrastinating, all that stuff. They come in there and they can now do whatever it is that they've been procrastinating when it comes to their finances, right? So if you're not looking at your finances, your investments, at least once a month, you're living close to the edge. And guys, I'm not here preaching at y'all. I'm preaching at all of us, because these are things that I've done some of this stuff as well. These are things that I have done, and now I'm learning to be wiser. I've learned to be wiser because I see the direct relationship between when my energy doesn't go into it and what results. So when my energy is in it and what results. This is not about obsessing about your finances. This is not about like looking at it every second. This is about doing what needs to be done so that you can do what you want to do. It's as simple as that. Number 4, evidence that you may be living, or signs that you may be living on the edge or close to the edge, is you are letting other people be responsible for your finances. So that may be your spouse, that may be a financial advisor. None of those 2 people are bad people. None of those 2 people should not know about the conversation about your money. However, when you as the CEO are giving literally your power away and saying my job is to earn and their job is to do everything else, you are living close to the edge. Guys, I cannot tell you how many women physicians I get to meet who thought their relationship was like the best thing in the world. And then less than a year later, a divorce was happening. And I will tell you what happens when you're not in the know when it comes to your finances. You will get screwed. It's just as simple as that. You will. I'm just being honest with you. And what I found is that when people are not in the know, their spouses are more likely to come out ahead of them when it comes to like the resolution. If you already find that money is overwhelming right now and you are not in it, what ends up happening is that you will be in a rush to get out of the conversation, that you are more likely to sign anywhere on the dotted line just to breathe. And what that means is that you will not come up ahead when it comes to your finances. And the part about the financial advisor is I'm not anti-financial advisor as long as you're getting value in return for the investment that you're paying if you're investing in them. But what I'm anti is you not being in the know about what could be happening with your finances or even how your advisor may be getting paid. So if something happens to your advisor right now, they're like, I'm moving to, I don't know, Australia. Will you freak out? If the answer is yes, then that's a telltale sign for you that you are living on the edge. Learn now. Your brain is an asset. You're one of the smartest people in the world. Your job is to bring your brain and bring it as an asset to the table so that even your advisor can now leverage your brain and poof, you guys are going to do so much better when your brain is in the money. Like asking the questions, learning the things from outside and bringing that to the table. I cannot tell you how many advisors don't know or think about real estate as a vehicle for investment, as a tax saving strategy. Like literally, I'm telling you the truth. Again, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. It just means that you need to be in the know so that you're optimizing your own finances. Like, think about how many hours you're spending working clinically. Think about now, do that math in a year, do that math over 20 years, and see how much of your life you're spending working. And now to think about the money that you're earning in that, now putting that into someone else's hands is literally like putting your life in someone else's hands and say, do whatever you want to do with it, right? They are meant to be your partners. They are meant to be your colleagues in your wealth building, not meant to be given all the responsibility and hoping that they're doing what you think they should be doing with it. Do you get what I mean? And then the next one, number 5, is this. Y'all cash hoarders. You're living on the edge. If you're taking all the cash you have, you're putting it in your bank account, and you don't qualify yourself, or you're objectively enough financially independent yet. What I mean by that is this. There is room for cash. There is room for cash. But what I find is that sometimes as physicians, we hoard cash in our bank account, and that money is not working for you. I talk about this in my book, Done with Broke, that there are many ways of getting from California to New York. I could walk. No, thank you. I could, I don't know, take a boat and walk. I could bike. I could fly. I could drive. Many ways will get me to the destination eventually, but some ways will get me there faster, less burnt out, with less gray hair, and with a fabulous experience. So, investing, in my opinion, is a way to get to the destination you're going to healthier, better, faster, less broken, and less eaten by sharks. I don't want to cough because I'm recovering. Well, I recovered from a cold, but the cough is like hanging around. So when I laugh too much, I start to cough. So maybe that's why I'm yelling at y'all and not laughing, because this stuff ain't funny. I'm just joking, but it's not funny. It is a little funny, but you get my point. So if you're hoarding cash because you're afraid of losing money, just know that you are losing money by letting cash sit in your bank account. If you're hoarding money because you're afraid of investing, it's because you haven't learned the language of investment yet. You haven't learned how to risk stratify and invest in a way that is aligned with your own risk tolerance, not the risk tolerance of a kindergartner practicing medicine, but the risk tolerance of a competent attendant practicing medicine. Because if you tell a toddler to stick a needle in a joint, they're not going to, because they're not trained. However, if you tell an attendant to stick a needle, they will tell you, but they're like, well, your blood thinners, I are like 40. We should probably not be doing this. That's competency. So when I'm talking about risk tolerance, I'm talking about it from the version of you that is competent when it comes to the language of investment. And if you're a physician and you don't know any languages of investment, you are living on the edge, and it's time for you to learn. And we can help you with that. There are books that you can go read. You don't have to join my program. There are books you can go read. There are websites that can teach you that. There are YouTube channels you can learn. It may take you time. It may take you sifting through a crap load of crap, in order to find what's actual goal, but you will learn. If you want to learn it faster, more efficiently in a way that works and has worked for many women physicians, sure, feel free to come check us out, learn our program, go to moneyfitmd.com/FLP, sign up for the challenge we have happening right now, or click on work with me and follow the prompts there. Like, you literally have no excuse in 2024 to not have money, to not create freedom, to not have peace of mind, to not live on the edge. That's going to cause you to be broke the next time there's windy winds that happen. Okay? And then the last but not the least is you cannot afford to go 3 months without an income, especially your clinical income. If you're afraid of what would happen if you went 3 months without a clinical income and you're earning multiple six figures a year, then it's time for you to learn how to manage what you've got. And when I say manage what you've got, I'm not saying don't spend. In fact, you've been spending, you're just not spending in the way that builds wealth. And so it's time for you to learn and change that. So if any of this applies to you, you are living on the edge. And the worst time to be prepared is during the bad season. The best time to be prepared was yesterday. The next best time is today. How do you learn? I already told you there are many ways. Go Google, go find books, go find YouTube. Those are all the ways you can learn. But if you're a woman physician and your time is of value, and you're like, Latifat, I've done all that, and it's like sifting through dust and sand and paper. I don't know what to trust. I've tried and it just sounded too complicated, or I've tried and it was too judgy. And can you just show me how I can do this in the least amount of time possible, without judgment, without shaming? Let's just say I have a place for you. It's called the MoneyfitMD Money School that we have opened for you. We've created it for you. We've had over 100 women physicians go through our curriculum now, and we can tell you that it works. These women are getting good with money, building the life that they want. They're investing, they're diversifying, they're maxing out their retirement accounts, they're investing outside of their retirement account, they're buying properties. Those that already came in with properties are optimizing their investment. They're taking the overwhelm out of their finances. They're building a life that they want. They're taking sabbaticals. They're practicing medicine on their terms. They're becoming less and less dependent on their clinical income. That's what this is about. It's about you building generational wealth. It's about you living the life that you call to live. It's about you going from hoping and wishing nothing happens to understanding that something will happen. Is just a matter of time, and be prepped before you need it. That's what this is about. So I would love for you to join us for our money challenge. If you want to work with us, if you want to learn this, there are two ways you can work with us within the challenge. One of them is the general admission, which means that you will learn and you will have daily activities that I'm going to be showing you. That's not going to take more than 20 or 30 minutes a day. That's going to get you to know your money more. That's the goal here. Know your money so you can grow your money. That's the key. Know your money so you can grow your money. Right? The other option is VIP. And what VIP means is you get access to everything general admission gets access to, but you also get a bonus hour every day where you get to ask me any questions you want, and you have a chance to get coached as well. Right? Which means that whatever that stumbling block is for you, whatever that thing is for you that is preventing you from moving to the next level, you can get the answer to that question within the 5-day challenge that we have offered. So this is my invitation for you. I didn't create this for me. I created it for you because we are done worrying about money. We're done living a life of being stuff. We're done being at the mercy of other people. We're done letting what should be money, which should be something that helps us live freedom, be what's costing us to our day, our schedule, our clinical income. That is what this is about. So the link to join, moneyfitmd.com/FLP. We're starting February 12th. Go sign up now. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait 5 more seconds. This is the time, because you and I know that when we procrastinate, we forget to do the things that we know that we want to do. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope this has been helpful. Hopefully I didn't yell so much at you. I love you. It's because I know you're badass. I know that there's so much more that the world is waiting to see from you. Like your life matters. Money in your hands is a beautiful thing for the world. And I just want both of those things to meet at the next level, meaning the wealthy version of you and a lot of money knit together so that we can fix some other crap that's happening in this world. I love you. I cannot wait to see you. You'll be joining us in the Money Challenge. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Goodbye.